I'm not seeing significant signs of debris in there, though it looks like we've got some radar issues there, so it's not a good clean shot of that area. I'm looking for debris on the radar, but if you look carefully, you can see there's actually a hook on this storm. It's got that classic hook echo right around the Clover area. So where that rotation is right there. The storm is rotating in that vicinity, and so that would be an area where there is a possible tornado, maybe on the ground, could be aloft. I swung our camera around and I'm in rain, so I can't see much on the Dallas camera, but I was hoping we'd have a view of that because that's looking straight down 321, and that area in particular would be where the rotation is, down around the Crowder's Mountain Clover area in Gaston County. So let me widen out again to show you the overall view as this is moving towards Mount Holly, northern part of Lake Wylie. So right around Clover, and then eventually like the Daniel Stowe Botanical Gardens. Let me go in closer here. You see St. Paul Church Road there, heading towards areas towards Ridge Road, eventually over towards areas towards, looks like Patrick Road, Meek Road, which is right on the border. So then we just got a volume scan of the radar coming by. Let's go back to the velocity data quickly there. Now, that's good sign. The circulation looked like it weakened just a hair as that was pushing into parts of Mecklenburg County. So this is right on the York-Gaston County line. And quickly, let's recap what you should be doing right now if you're in the path of this storm. Find that lowest floor interior room away from the outside walls and windows. That is going to protect you from flying debris. The thing we look out for is flying debris from these storms. So if you can put as many barriers, or like I call them force fields, those walls will block that flying debris as it moves towards you and protect you. And if you have a helmet, grab your helmet. Your head is very important. We want you to protect that area. Now, Brittany Van Voorhees, she's out in the Chevy Storm Tracker. She is in parts of northern York County. And Brittany, I know you're down towards the southern part. Are you turning around heading back north, and what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, Brad, so we are actually heading north there, pretty much near the Newport area, straight north there in York County. Now, things are definitely looking dark there, but we kind of are in that weird lull where there's clouds, but then you can still get that sunshine, allowing for that daytime heating. You know, you oftentimes hear those referred to as sun showers. Now, what's interesting is I personally have never been in the car when these tornado warnings have been going off. It actually scared me, and my photographer looked at me and said, yeah, those are the warnings going off. So if you're in this area of York County, you may be hearing some of those sirens going off. Now, Newport, TKK, places of that nature, not currently in the cell that we are talking about right now, that up toward the Clover area. But of course, because portions of York County under that warning, often assuming there, that's why, of course, the alerts did go off. Now, there is still a severe thunderstorm warning in this area, so you should still, of course, go to your interior room away from windows. We've had reports of golf ball-sized hail in this severe thunderstorm that is continuing to head through this area of York County. Not seeing any kind of rotating storms out there right now, Brad, but we are looking toward the north. We're going to stay away, of course, from where that rotation is, but going to try to stay just south of it where we can kind of see what's going on, try to get some good views there. But for now, we're kind of just in that lull of just some areas of light to moderate rain, but of course those dark clouds as we continue to look toward the northwest. So if I see anything crazy popping up here as we continue to drive, I'll definitely let you guys know. But I also want the viewers at home to know that while we are in York County, we are well away, miles away there from that tornado warm storm. So for now, live here in York County near the Newport area, I'm meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Yeah, I know, Brittany, you can probably still hear me. You can't see me. If you guys hear me there and you're on 274 in Newport, I would go north and maybe wait for this to pass north of you. It's going to clear out, and you would have a view of the base of that storm. Now, this storm, I knew this was going to be a storm we're going to have to watch because it showed a lot of signs of rotation. In fact, it produced some huge hail just to the north of here. Check out the golf ball size hail report we just got out of the northern part of Gaston, Cleveland, Lincoln County, kind of where all those counties come together. That is some pretty big hail, usually 1.5 inches to 1.75 inches diameter. I can tell you, I can personally attest to this. That hits your car, you may not see damage immediately, or your roof. This is going to cause damage, so you're going to want to get your car checked out or eventually your roof checked out, because oftentimes you don't know the damage that was caused until the next rain, and then you realize that those hailstones had caused some damage. Now, let's go back to the radar. We've got the tornado warning, but embedded in that tornado warning, the whole area is under a severe thunderstorm warning as this line pushes east. This is moving into Charlotte. I cannot emphasize enough that if you are outside anywhere, you need to be inside. You cannot be outside. I am so thankful that the Strawberry Festival postponed, because those are temporary structures and tents and outside. These type of storms are going to cause some serious issues with those temporary structures. So the rotation is right here south of Lowell, so right around areas. Let me zoom in real closely and I'll kind of give you an idea. Union New Hope Road, eventually heading towards 279, towards Woodland Bay Drive, Boat Club Drive. So Berry Hill area south of Belmont, and basically towards Shopton and Steel Creek is where it would be heading next. And it's going to be heading right for the airport. This is a classic hook echo, just looking at the reflectivity. And what I mean by hook echo, you see this appendage, it comes around and looks like a fish hook. Where the tornado is, it's right on the barb of where the hook is. So if you think about the hook is in that area right there in the middle of your screen, I'll actually grab my cursor right there, that's where the possible tornadoes. And notice the lightning jump in that area. There is a lot of research associated with lightning jumps and tornado genesis. So we know that there's probably some very strong rotation occurring within this cell right there near that hook echo. And again, let me do an updated track, because I would be suspicious if they didn't issue another tornado warning with this, but we will see based on what the reports we're getting. But here's an updated track. Now again, don't read too much into the specific numbers, because give it plus or minus about 4 or 5 minutes, because remember, it takes 1 minute for the radar to sweep, so the radar is a little bit delayed by at least a minute. South Belmont, Paul Creek, Charlotte, 636. So I think that would be uptown Charlotte there. Idlewild, 643, and if it holds together, Matthews around 645. And again, it's moving northeast. Scotty, how fast was that one moving? Could you, over in the Weather Center? 20 miles per hour. So that one's still moving 20 miles per hour, which is much slower than the storms we had earlier today. Now, we keep checking with our spotters over in that area. Have not seen any reports of damage, but I did see some pretty impressive pictures of what looked like a wall cloud, maybe some kind of lowering in that area as that's pushing off to the northeast. Now we're starting to get a little bit better views from some of our other cameras. The Dallas camera is still, I'm just looking over off screen here, of it looks like it's pretty socked in with some rain. I'm going to show you that quickly. I'll pull that up. That's looking at our Monroe camera back towards the west to see if we have any visibility on the storm. There you go. So you see the two cameras on the left. Those are from Monroe looking back to the northwest. And what's that camera on the right, guys? That's Rock Hill. Okay. Wow. So you're starting to see, you know, that storm is, you can see it from a long ways away. And I'm looking at our Dallas camera. That is, wow, look at that. There's definitely, we're in the clouds. So remember, the Dallas camera is at the top, or very close to the top of our transmitter. So that's about 1,450 feet. So we're in the cloud base, and you could see the up and down motion there briefly going up. What we're looking for is horizontal rotation, not vertical. So that storm, we're looking for horizontal movement. There's always up and down movement in these storms. That's what convection is. You get the up and down movement. So they just whittled down the warning again just for Gaston and Mecklenburg County. That is entering the county right now as I speak. But look at the huge warning until 7 o'clock, which includes all of Mecklenburg County. So down to 20. So the curious thing is here is, will they continue this warning off to the east? Because that's going to put it into uptown eventually here. I have not seen any reports come in of damage. Let me remove this real quick. So let's widen this back out, and I'm going to do a whole track on this line, because, hey, if you're getting thunder and lightning right now, you're in it. If you hear it, seek shelter. Let's do a quick track on that. There's the updated track moving off towards the east. So here's what I want you to do. Even if you're not in the tornado warning, I want you to treat this severe thunderstorm warning like it's a tornado warning, because of the potential of these spin-ups and the large hail being wind-blown towards the windows and breaking. In fact, some of the hail, where's that hail from, guys? So this is from South Gastonia, right there to the south. You can see some of the hail there. That looks like pea size. That's a little bit smaller than what we saw to the north. Looks like the north side, the hail shaft is a little bit stronger, but the fact that we're getting some hail there, pretty strong indication you have a pretty significant updraft as this is pushing to the east. So again, this tornado warning continues now for parts of Gaston, And I can't believe they took York out of it, but it's on the York County line, to be honest with you, right near the northern part of Lake Wiley. Daniel Stowe Botanical Gardens, right around there. That's kind of the area it's at, just south of Belmont, Cramerton. This is heading right for areas just north of the airport, kind of just where the Amazon warehouse is there on the north side of the airport, 85, 485, kind of meet up there as you go over the bridge, which this time of day, whew, that is usually backed up. So you hope the people in those cars know.
It's backed up.
Is it backed up?
Yeah, it's actually backed up from the river all the way to
Ugh.
say the Wilkinson area.
Yeah, so that area right there, the tornado, if it's there, it's just south of where the backup is over the river. That's the South Fork of the Catawba, south of Belmont. So it's crossing 273. It's about to head towards 485. This is heading right towards the airport. I would suspect the airport's already in a ground stop. So if you had people traveling in or from the airport, not going anywhere right now until this storm passes. Now, Brittany is in the Chevy Storm Tracker. They're heading north. As I expected, they're in the clear. But if you're going north, I bet, Brittany, you're probably going to get to a spot where you might have a good view of the backside of this storm. Now, we just lost their signal. They're on the west side of Lake Wiley. I believe they're on 274, if I'm not mistaken.
Make sure is it still on?
And they're traveling
Yeah, it
north,
is.
so they would be heading towards the backside of this
Can
storm.
you hear me, Anna?
So off to the left is west. I can tell the sun, and the shadow's going right. The right is to the east, so they're going due north. And then northeast, that's the storm you see on the top there. That's the storm they're going towards right now. So they're heading to the north right now. So Brittany, I know you can hear me. I know you guys are trying to catch this storm. Where are you at, and are you heading towards the backside of this storm?
Yeah, Brad. So our plan, of course, was to head, pretty much straight to the north and northeast there and kind of get behind the storm as it continues to move there near Belmont. Now, we're pretty much right to the west, I would say, of the Lake Wiley area, kind of trying to make that back end spot. We have seen a few scud clouds, a little bit of that drop there in the clouds off into the distance. I have not seen any funnel clouds develop just yet, but I mean, we're within about 5 to 10 miles there of the backside of the storm right now. So we're going to continue that trek there, but you can see if you look off in the distance, those mean looking storm clouds. It is just crazy that we are just a few miles away and there is absolutely no rain and all of this sunshine, but just a few miles away, of course, we have that tornado warned storm. So it's interesting to see the difference, of course, in just a few miles. So right now, again, we are just to the north and or the south rather and southwest of that storm, but I mean, it is rapidly moving. I mean, as quickly I feel like as it moves, of course, we've cleared. So you can see all those areas to the south side, near South Gastonia, Clover are already clear, and it's only been about 15, 20 minutes. So yes, right now we are continuing to take that trek there to the north, trying to get on that backside of that storm. But other than just some mean-looking storm clouds right now here just to the west of Lake Wiley, it's pretty clear for now.
Yeah, it looks like it's about to cross the Catawba River or the northern part of Lake Wiley. So you're heading in that general direction. I'm looking at our camera from Dallas. I'm looking back towards the west, and now I have a pretty clear view of the backside of the storm as well. Based on how clear the view is, we're going to find out if we see a tornado here, because I can see the rain shaft, I can see the inflow coming into this pretty quickly on the backside of this storm. So I'm going to switch it over to our Dallas camera real quickly. Now, there might be a little delay on air for this popping up, but I want to show you this view as it turns. You're going to see it turn on the camera here. So what I'm doing is I'm turning the camera right now. We're going back towards the east. This is the storm right here. So we're kind of looking kind of east-southeast. Uptown Charlotte would be right over in this area. And what we're looking for is the backside of the storm. The backside is where the rain shaft is. If there's going to be a tornado, it's going to be in here. Now, these are low clouds that are sweeping in front of our camera at 1,450 feet. This inflow is coming into the storm. So this still has a strong updraft. The fact that it's pulling clouds into it. So if there's going to be rotation, it's back in this area. So we would look at the base of the cloud right in here. So we're looking back towards the eastern part of Gaston County. In fact, sometimes you can see Spencer Mountain. There's a nice rainbow showing up. So it's backlit already. The sun should illuminate this. It should be visible. If there's a tornado on the ground, we would see it from this shot looking back to the east. Let's wait till these clouds clear, and I think we'll see the backside of this storm. Now, we do have some raindrops on the lens, but they're actually not that big of an issue. So here's the back edge of the cloud. So there is a lowering here. This is a very low base. but I don't see anything that looks like it's dropping out of the storm. That's a good sign. This looks like there might be some broad rotation in that wall cloud right there. So again, we're looking back towards the east, and a nice rainbow on the backside of that. Okay, now that I see it, the cloud's clear, there is a little bit of a lowering right in here. So maybe some weak rotation, maybe a wall cloud on the backside of the storm, maybe even a funnel cloud right there. Kind of hard to tell. I'm going to zoom in on that. So there'll be a little delay when you see this on air, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to zoom in on that, because that is very suspicious looking. So let me zoom up. That's Spencer Mountain in the foreground. You'll see it pop up in a minute here. So there'll be a slight delay as the transmission comes in. So watch it zoom as I walk over. So what I'm zooming in on is this area right here. Spencer Mountain is in the foreground right here. This is the rainbow. So this is the tornado warned storm we're looking at in the southeastern part of Gaston County going in to parts of Mecklenburg County. So what we're looking for right there is rotation. Let's look on the ground there. I don't know, Scott, you got good eyes over there. Have you seen anything rotating in there? No. That's towards the airport. So right in there, there is some weak rotation there. I don't know if you guys can see it on air, but right in there, that's where we possibly have some rotation. I'm not seeing anything dropping, but there is some rotation in the base of this cloud. And again, Charlotte is over here. That's Spencer Mountain. So we're looking basically straight across the airport back towards that. So we'll leave that up there for a second, because that's this part of the cloud in the storm that we're looking at for possible rotation. That's definitely a wall cloud, guys, the more I look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up our radar and camera together. This might give you a better perspective. So let me pull this up real quick on air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. So the camera that you're looking at on the right, I've got the radar up. So the camera is in Dallas, which is just north of Gastonia. And what we're looking at is we're looking back in this general direction. So what you're seeing, that's the radar on the left. That's the camera on the right. You can actually see Spencer Mountain in the foreground. Beautiful rainbow there on the backside. But what I'm looking at, and thanks James for navigating the camera there a little bit. What we're looking at, this is the hook right near Berry Hill. So this is 485. 85 here, again, the north side of the airport. If you've driven over there, you know that giant Amazon distribution center is right there. Whitewater Center's up here. This is 85 crossing over the river there, where it always backs up on Fridays, Saturdays, any day of the week when you're going west. That's where the rotation is. So we're looking back in that direction. What I'm watching for is, do we see any rotation in there? So that's the backside of the storm. The sun is out here. That's why you see the beautiful rainbow. It's illuminating the backside of the storm. So right in there is the circulation. Now that's a hook echo, which is a sign that we got rotation, because the precipitation is getting wrapped around the downdraft and the inflow from the updraft. So you're getting circulation right there. So there's the rain wrapping around. And as you look, I don't know, guys, I get a couple eyeballs on that. It looks like it's trying to do something there. Oh, thank you. That's a little better angle. There's rotation there. There's definitely broad rotation there right now in that area. So that's an area we're going to have to watch for the next couple minutes. We'll keep that up while you're doing that, guys. I'm going to do another storm track on this storm as it moves to the northeast. So we got a view from outside the building, because this, believe it or not, is heading right towards us as well. So we're off the Billy Graham Parkway, and we're looking back towards the west, towards the airport, and we're looking at the same base, but now from below. It's a great shot, guys. Thanks for getting out there and do that. So notice the flag picking up. It's blowing to the north. So there's some inflow coming in from the south. So we're south of the circulation. So we're going to watch that flag, because that's going to tell me a lot. If it starts changing direction, it's getting pulled into this circulation. Yeah, there's, just looking at the way the flag is going back towards the airport there, and looking at those low clouds. The good news is, I can tell you, we've got visual look at this storm. There's nothing on the ground. So this is not a tornado. Remember, tornado by definition is a rotating column of air in contact with the ground. We've got rotation in this storm. It's just not in contact with the ground. It's in the upper levels and mid levels, and even down to the base of that cloud. So it looks like that looks like a wall cloud. basically popping out of the back of the storm right in there. So yeah, guys, that's a wall cloud. That's a legit wall cloud right there. And I believe that's the airport in the foreground. So this is really close to the airport. It's rare that we get a storm backlit like this, or kind of lit from behind us, which is lighting up the storm. So we're getting great visibility. Yeah, that's a wall cloud. So if there's a tornado, it would drop out of that wall cloud. So that's the circulation we're looking at right there near Berry Hill. Now they're not extending the warning yet, which is good news for Uptown, but it doesn't mean a tornado couldn't drop out of the cell at any moment as it crosses into Mecklenburg County. It's still basically right over 485. So this is over the north side of the airport. I'd be curious if the tower sees anything. I haven't seen the METAR come from the airport. Yeah, thanks guys, that's perfect. That is a wall cloud right there. You guys see anything from the airport tower? Have they? Oftentimes, when these get close to airports, you got pilots that are circling because they can't land. They can give you an observation, and then the tower, remember, is up there. Sometimes they evacuate when they have a tornado heading towards the tower, but they have a great visibility up there from the tower location. So I'd be curious if they're even up there. They might have evacuated already as this moves in. So that's what we're looking at right there. That's the wall cloud. No contact with the ground right now, so we don't have a confirmed tornado, but we do have a wall cloud visible from our camera here in Dallas looking back towards the east. Now here in Charlotte, looking back the other direction, we're off the Billy Graham Parkway down in here, looking this direction. We've got a camera outside looking that direction, and this is a view from our parking lot. As you look back towards the west, we can see that same wall cloud. So there's the wall cloud from the ground looking back towards the airport. So that's going to cross just north of here, guys. So we've got two perspectives. There's the wall cloud. So I don't know if you guys can key me over that, but right east, right to the flag there. The flag is pointing to that lowering. That is a wall cloud. And that wall cloud is where we would look for rotation within the wall cloud, and then possibly even a tornado coming out of that. So we're taking a close look at that on all the cameras to see if we see it. I don't see anything in contact with the ground, and we've got a very good view of that storm. So I'm going to do an updated storm track on this thing real quickly, just to give you a heads up, because it looks like the warning is going to stay severe thunderstorm warning. So this is heading towards Charlotte, Uptown at 6:33, Idlewild 6:41, Harrisburg 6:52, and Clear Creek closer to 7 o'clock, if it's still there. Thanks, guys. I'm going to walk back over the key wall here. So what we're looking at that wall cloud, looks like it's right in this vicinity. So the flag has dropped. So we've lost the wind inflow to this, which is interesting. We'll see if it picks back up, but there is some circulation right in that area. So we'll go back to the radar real quick, guys. And you can see there's the radar signature right there. This is right inside. This is the north side of the airport. And we're looking back to the east, and we can see the wall cloud. So I believe this is the airport. There's the tower, I believe. That's the airport right there. And that's where the cell is right there. And right above the airport right now, we've got a well-defined wall cloud, it looks like. It's rotating. There's rotation there.
It's getting there.
That is very close to dropping at least a funnel cloud. We'll see if it drops a tornado. I am really curious to see what the airport, my spotters, the guys at the airport are saying. I'm going to come over here real quick and just check. I have not seen anything from the airport. I don't know if they've evacuated the tower or done a ground stop or what. But wow, it's been, there's definitely a wall cloud. I'm just seeing another picture from Carowinds that looks like a wall cloud as well. So we definitely at least have the wall cloud there on the right heading over the airport. So we'll see right in that area. It doesn't look like it dropped. So there it is on the radar right now. This is going to be on the north side of the airport. It's basically heading right towards Uptown, so the west side of town. And this is going to cross over the west side of town, probably stay north towards Noda, and then head just east of there, Plaza Midwood area, and then up towards University area. And then, Paul Creek area is kind of where it is now, heading up towards areas towards the University and maybe Harrisburg, Concord area. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at that, guys. It's trying to produce a tornado. It just hasn't dropped, which is good news. We do not want to see that thing drop. So I'm going to go full screen with this just to give you a better view at home. And what we're looking at here, this lowering. So we're looking at the airport. I can actually see the tower now very clearly. So that's the tower at the airport. And this is what we're looking at, this lowering. This whole area is rotating here, and there looks to be a lowering about right there. So that little icon up there, by the way, is just another warning. We'll show you that's a severe thunderstorm warning. But right in this area is what we're watching. So this is past north of the airport right now. That's a new severe thunderstorm warning just issued, it looks like, for parts of Lancaster and Chesterfield County. So let me go back to the radar, and we'll show you that real quickly. That storm, you can see all the warnings to the south. But the tornado warning is going to be expiring here in about 15 minutes. It's heading right for Uptown. So the next camera, guys, could you pop the view up? See what because the view camera should have a good view of this thing as it pushes into Uptown. Can we swing it back to the west? I don't have controls back here, but if you guys get a chance. So the view cam is on the west side of Uptown. Look to this, if you guys can swing it to the right, if at all possible, that would give us a view of this same storm. There we go. So keep going. Keep going. The storm that's keep going. So here, yeah, this is what we're keep going. Let's see, this is the base that we're watching. Go a little bit farther. So we would see if there was something coming out as we drop. So this is the base that we're watching right in here. Doesn't look like the rotation is there. Go a little bit farther. There we go. So yeah, that's looking northwest. So this is the base that's coming in. It's actually, if there was a tornado, it would be dropping out of this part of the storm. So that's a good sign. I don't see any funnels. I don't see any rotation there. So the good news is I think this warning is going to be allowed to expire. We do not have anything popping out. It's because we're literally looking. I've got the radar where I'm looking off screen. The radar, I'm looking right at the circulation on the radar and in real life. So the radar's not showing us any rotate. They canceled it? Okay, that's what I expected. So there you go. When you have confirmation, guys, you can actually see those warnings cancel. And I think GSP probably has us dialed up down there, kind of watching the coverage to give them some visuals. So the tornado warning was allowed to expire, but I will tell you we still have a severe thunderstorm warning for all of the I-77 corridor. This stretches from Statesville to Mooresville, down to Huntersville, to Charlotte, and then all the way back down to the southeast. So I'm going to do a quick track on this, and then we're going to join nightly, I think, in progress here. If we do not have another tornado warning, which I think we're going to be okay for now, there's the line moving to the northeast. So this severe thunderstorm warning is up until 7 o'clock. And this is going to include areas from Monroe, China Grove, Salisbury, Spencer, all those areas we're going to be watching as well. Now, I'll continue to monitor the situation to make sure we don't have anything spinning back up, as I'm going to zoom in one more time to Uptown because I don't see any broad circulation there. So that's a good sign. I think we're in the clear from a tornado warning, but please stay indoors until these storms pass. They are moving northeast right now at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. We have not seen any reports of damage, so that tornado did not touch down. It looks like it stayed aloft, but this warning again is up until 7 o'clock. We'll continue following this online on our apps as well as social media. Make sure you're following us. We'll keep you up to date. Please stay weather aware for about another hour or so. We'll give you the all clear coming up, but for now, we're going to join nightly news already in progress.
Like Madonna, Beyonce, and Jay-Z. Tonight, an investigation is underway into what went wrong as families are notified of who died and who is still missing. Kerry Sanders, NBC News.
In Ukraine, more civilians were evacuated today from the besieged steel plant in Mariupol as the battle there becomes increasingly desperate. It comes as First Lady Jill Biden visits the region. Kelly Kobiea is in Ukraine with the latest.
Tonight, Russian forces are still trying to break the last pocket of resistance at Mariupol's steel plant. It won't take long, this Russian-backed fighter said. The United Nations describing the plant as a hellscape, with 200 civilians and hundreds more wounded fighters holed up. Today, 50 more civilians were rescued, evacuated by the UN and Red Cross.